Hey y'all, Tater here. I'm much more happier now. Much more happier. Look at this thing. It's all welded up. He says he got most of that worked out. Everybody's happy, happy, happy. He even put the rear end back there. Looking good. I don't know what he has in plan for this week, but I'm happy. I am happy. I would love to see him throw that motor in there. He's been talking about that thing for a long time. But that stance, oh, man, that thing looks mean. Looking mean right there. Well, hope y'all enjoy this week's episode. Catch y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, what you doing? John here, and thank you for tuning in for this week's episode. We've got everybody split apart, put back together, ready to start kind of working on some of this. I don't really know which way I want to start just yet. Part of me says to put the motor in, cut just 2, 3, 4 tabs, something like that, to hold the motor where I think it's going to go, and then start playing with these shock hoops. And I really need to figure out what it is I want to do here. So I technically have two options. If I put the motor here, the sprocket ends up right here, which means that I have a distance that I gotta make up in order for everything to work right. Option one is I go ahead and run a small chain out to wherever this pivot is, and I build basically a jack shaft off of that. That's one option. If I do that, then this swing arm is going to have to get shifted to this side just a little bit, or that side. I guess it really doesn't matter. I was thinking this side, because your chain won't be directly in line with the motor chain. And so something will have to be offset, and I think it would be better to have this offset than the major weight of the engine up front. The second option is that we cut the swing arm up and we make a full custom swing arm, kind of like you see a lot of the sand racing guys use. And I'll keep this chunk right here, and I'll keep this axle bearing carrier, and then use the tubing bender and bend a full length swing arm. Either way, it's a lot of work, and it's going to be a lot of time. So I'm going to just have to kind of feel around for what I think is going to work best. I did this week find a set of really cheap stock rear rims and tires. So that's great. Now I can quit taking the fronts on and off and flipping back and forth. I can put those on. I had my brother 3D print me up a set of wheel spacers. These are 2-inch, 20% infill wheel spacers, so I can mock it all up and see which size wheel spacers I need before I spend the money to get the aluminum ones. And I've already broken 2 of the studs off of that one, and I broke all 4 studs of that one off. It worked out great. While he was doing that, I also had him print me out a template for my for all my tabs that we did. Remembering all these guys? So I can quit doing the whole washer thing, which will be really nice. So yeah, I think we'll put the motor on, or at least set it up there. You might see me standing around a lot this episode. I don't really know. I'm to the point now where I'm like, I don't know what to do. But just keep walking through it, and hope y'all hang out with me. It's great to have you, and hopefully it's a good episode. Catch y'all later. Bye. So I got all of that welded up, and as you can see, I put washers in the front and the back, and it's 1 inch on each side. So I have left and right, I can move 1 inch. See, I did the same back here. I went ahead and final welded this guy all up, so he's all good. I did not final weld this one because this one's a real pain to get this thing back out. So I'll do it when I pull the engine. It's good enough. It's holding really solid. I can move the whole thing around. It's great. So the next kind of steps are, we need to somehow figure out a shock hoop. And my gap problem is back. But I left these mounts here not welded to the frame yet. And the reason I did that was I don't know exactly where the body is going to sit down. So once I know where the body sits, this can still move forward and backward some. And then these washers are for all this jack shaft mess that I'm probably going to end up making over here. So if I go with a jack shaft, the engine's going to have to scoot over, and I can't have, you know, 2 sprockets stacked on top of each other. They'll have to be offset just a little bit. So we will see how that goes. I'm really liking it. It's really solid. This side's shock mount is not as crazy. There's actually a lot of clearance, but it's deeper into this pocket right here. So I think I'll end up making 2 full-blown one-off shock hoops for each side, which is kind of a pain, but it is what it is, right? Well, I thank y'all for watching this episode. The next one will probably be shock hoops, and maybe we can start either like mounting the body, which would be really good, and then we can straighten all that stuff out, or I don't know, maybe we'll do the swing arm. We'll see. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, click your notification bell, and I will catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.